Good morning. I'd like to call this meeting of the Board of Adjustment to order. We have 4 members of the Board of Adjustment here, so I believe we have a quorum. And therefore, the meeting is declared open. I'd like to ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
I need to, am I on? There you go, Alan. If we could add a public comment period. Jennifer, does that need to go in after new business?
Yes, that will have to be after the conclusion of the evidentiary portion under 4A.
Yeah, so if we wanted to move that to 4B, public comment period on this hearing.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve the amended agenda?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Chad?
So, Cindy, Chairwoman, if we could, I forgot to swear everybody in that's going to testify. So that would be me. Jody, are you going to? Okay. Any of your other, anybody who wishes to be, needs to be sworn in, and get Cindy to swear us in. Okay. Do you need to go get it real quick? Yeah, go get it real quick.
I'm all office view. Okay. Where are you guys out of? Gotcha. That's all.
We are going to do a river cruise on the Danube.
Nice.
At the end of March. It's fun. It's a Viking cruise. We did one a few years ago on the Rhine in Germany. Really nice. It's nice to be able to plan some trips again.
Yeah.
You're still working on
Unfortunately employed. Haven't, my numbers haven't come in yet.
it. Funny.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, I was employed for many years too.
I'm on the 10-year plan. That's what I tell everybody. Yeah, yeah. Try to get out. Boys be grown. Go home with wives, probably. Born and raised.
I was there for 4 years.
Talking about the truth.
Yes, I do. Yes. Good.
Go ahead,
Sorry
Chad.
about that. Norris and Tunsil Consulting Engineers, applicant on behalf of Stanlands Development. The owner is requesting the approval of a special use permit for the construction and operation of a multifamily complex. Section 6.04, the Town of Sunset Beach's Unified Development Ordinance classifies this under multifamily development and is permitted via special use. Subject property is approximately 8.64 acres in size and is located off of Seaside Road, Highway 904 at the corner of Seaside Road and Sunset Creek Way Southwest. The proposed use on the 8.64 acre parcel will be for senior living development. Tenants will be age restricted to 55 and over. The developer plans to build 2 three-story structures and all dwelling units will be available for lease and not for sale. I wanted to point out that the original staff report that I had sent you that I had clarified by Phil Norris and Jody Bland, and Jody Bland is here today, stated that there was 2 74-unit three-story structures on there, and that is not the case. Site and driveway access, the development will utilize previous plan connection point along Sunset Creek Way. This access location was required during the development of Sunset Creek Commons. A NCDOT driveway permit will be required for the development. The permit will be evaluated to see if there's any modifications that needs to be made to the existing NC 179 connection. Public notification advertisements for this proposal was placed in the Brunswick Beacon for 2 consecutive weeks. Adjacent owners and property has been notified, and a sign for advertising on a public hearing was placed on the property. The questions that will be asked for the Board of Adjustments during this hearing are located in sections 4.05 C, 6A through G. These questions have been provided and answered. Unified Development Ordinance compliance. The subject property is zoned MR3, Mainland Residential 3, and according to the Town of Sunset Beach's Unified Development Ordinance, multifamily apartments are permitted via special use. Upon receipt of the approval, the SUP will act as a zoning approval for the project, and if any building permits are needed, they will require proper permits pulled in accordance to North Carolina State Building Code and Sunset Beach building procedures. Town of Sunset Beach future land use compliance. This compliance is in a split future land use kind of zone, mixed use and high density residential. Both support multifamily development. The proposed supported by 3 policies in conflict with 0 policies within the comprehensive land use plan. Those policies are down in your staff report as policy 16G, policy 26, and policy 38. And I have attached in your packet the rest of the attachments as well. Note that after the staff report in your packet, the questions that needed to be answered according to the UDO statute for the Board of Adjustment are on the next 2 pages. Cited or referenced down at 27 and 28, numerically at the bottom right-hand corner, not necessarily page 27 and 28 of the agenda packet. If you have any questions for me as a board, I also have the applicant here as well. If you have any direct questions for them, and if they need to make a presentation as well, they have that right to do so.
Would the applicant like to make a presentation?
Thank you. Jody Bland, Norson Tunstall. Chad's hit some of the high points, and I'll elaborate on a few things. We worked with Chad extensively on the concept plan. Our original vision was a single 3-story building with a cottage for additional units. Once we went through and did some analysis, we identified that it was a little bit too much impervious. So we went back and decided to do 2 3-story buildings, kind of consolidate some of the impervious, increase the green space. And that seems to work out better. It reduces the stormwater load, but it also increases the open space, which I know is important to the board. Parking is all per code, and doing the same consolidation has allowed us to kind of shrink that parking footprint instead of having a big U-shaped lot with parking spread out all throughout. It's allowed us to create more bufferage. We are providing a 50-foot buffer from the side road, which is Leak Street there. So we've got some natural bufferage there. There's a lot of buffering to the rear. There's a wetland pocket, so between us and Sunset Creek Commons. And then we're retaining most of the vegetation across the front of the property along 179. We've reached out to DOT regarding any required impacts, and looking at the existing condition of 179. There's already a center turn lane. So once we have filed for a driveway permit, they'll evaluate it. We may be required to install a right turn lane. That's something that we'll work with them on. Stormwater, we're meeting all the requirements of the town and the state, but we'll be required to file for a North Carolina erosion control permit with DEQ. That's pretty standard. We'll work with Brunswick County for water and sewer. No wetland impacts, so that's a good thing. And we're accessing off of Sunset Creek Commons. If you look on the plan, when I designed that years ago, working with Mr. Howard. We had a driveway apron there. Based on this site plan, we've pushed it back, which is a little bit better for your vehicle stacking and your circulation. So that's a bonus. We'll demo that other little apron and rework that little bit of driveway section. So all in all, we think it's a good project. We think it fits with the Sunset Creek Commons that's already there, the development that we designed there for H&H. So we feel like this is the completing that little pocket of kind of a transition zone from the commercial area, kind of a high density residential in that area, and then the single family further out. So I'm happy to answer any questions or.
Bruce?
No questions. No questions.
You have an idea of the breakdown of the apartments, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom?
I don't, but you guys may have a breakdown of apartment as far as 1, 2s, and 3s, or is it just 1s and 2s?
You could come up.
Sorry, I'm partners with Stanley. We're also partners with
We can get you to speak into the mic.
They all may be too.
Please state your name for the record.
I'm sorry?
Please state your name. for the
Yeah, my
record.
name's Pete Powers,
Okay.
and I'm with Cranwood Capital, who's partners with Stanley. And Courtney Bledsoe, who's behind me, is with BSRI. That's Jim Fish's organization. So we're working with him to give us what his priorities are as far as the number of 1 bedroom versus 2 bedroom, because he's the one that is basically handles all the senior
Right. Yep.
stuff in the county.
Yep.
So we do have a breakdown, and I don't have the specific number, but we're working closely with BSRI to make sure whatever his needs are is what we're going to do.
Kind of 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom?
Oh, absolutely.
Not 3 bedrooms?
No, it's 1 bedroom and 2 bedrooms. I just don't know the exact mix.
Right.
But
No,
BSRI will be intimately involved in
Good.
that. Okay.
Just curious.
Okay. Thank you.
John?
No questions.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Will the buildings have elevators?
Yes, it's a requirement.
It is a requirement
Okay.
because it is a senior.
Yeah, it'll be fully ADA compliant. They'll have accessible units, elevators, everything.
My other question is, the proposed parking for this complex meets UDO standards. However, it is very difficult to make a left-hand turn out of Sunset Creek Southwest.
Okay.
I assume that this will be addressed by the North Carolina Department of Transportation permit.
Yeah, they'll look at all the routing. If there's any upfits to help facilitate that left out, then we would be required to make those upfits.
Okay.
And if I can add into that, there's one other TIA study that was done right across the street for the sanctuary. I know it's not related to this, but that could very well factor into North Carolina Department of Transportation's ruling into how this modification, if it requires one, might be upfitted as well.
Right, because you're going to have hundreds of cars coming out of that development as well.
Sure.
My gut says I doubt they will require a signal, but they may require an upfit of this driveway for a dedicated left and right lane out, something like that. So.
Are there any other questions for Jody? Very
Thank
much.
you.
Is there any other evidence that we need to hear? Okay, if not, then this portion of the hearing is closed,
Unless there's any public comment by anybody.
unless there's any public comment.
So you would need a motion to close the public
Okay,
hearing.
may I have a motion to close this portion of the meeting?
Make a motion to close the meeting?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, we are here to evaluate the approval of a special use permit to construct and operate a multifamily apartment complex, which will be located off of Seaside Road in Sunset Creek Southwest. The project will be 1 and 2 bedroom apartments for a total of 108 units, and all of the units will be rental units. The property is zoned mainland residential 3, and according to the Town of Sunset Beach's Unified Development Ordinance 6.04, multifamily apartments are permitted via special use permits. We have heard evidence from the applicant that the proposed project is in compliance with the Sunset Beach UDO. Our job in approving or denying the special use permit is to consider the following points. 1, does the proposal meet all required conditions and specifications listed among special uses? 2, is the location and character of the proposal in harmony and in conformity with adjoining property? 3, will it substantially impact the value of the adjoining or abutting property? And is the requested use in conformity with the current land use plan? I would like to ask each member to vote on whether to approve or deny the application, and if there are any conditions to be placed on the application. Bruce?
I approve.
Greg?
I approve.
John?
I approve.
And I approve. So the proposal meets the burden of proof and all aspects of the town's Unified Development Ordinance and is thereby passed. Okay. Are there any administrative items to discuss?
So we will not have a meeting in December. I will let you know if I have anything at the beginning of the year. I don't have anything to meet on at this point. We'll see what the future holds. I do have a potential variance case that could be submitted in. I've got to get back in touch with the applicants on that. Other than that, if I don't see you before, have a great Thanksgiving and a great Christmas, and we will see you at the beginning of the year and when we're called upon.
Okay. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.